the enemy of fluency is perfection.
I have Portuguese. It's the spicy Spanish Portuguese. Why would I? Spanish is overrated if I have Portuguese.
There is like, I don't know, almost half of a billion people that speak Spanish in the world. You're always going to find someone. We are not born shy. We kind of are forced to be shy when learning a language. The Portuguese people can get the Spanish people, but the Spaniards cannot get the Portuguese.
Lewis, how to get ahead of people and finally start speaking faster than 95% of the population?
Well, Aggie, first thing is that people think talent is the thing that you need, but that's one thing that is going to help for sure. But consistency is the key to success, not only with languages, but with everything in general. When I say going ahead of 95% of people, you know, people come to me thinking that I'm going to give them like the method that is going to, you know, maybe, consuming content with the phone like this, and then it's going to enter the information better.
This angle a little bit.
No, it doesn't work like that. Like what I'm doing is I'm creating something that you can apply every single day. Yeah. So that's what consistency is about. You know, if you can apply something every single day, it's going to become a habit, and then you're going to be able to do it. Creating the habit is going to take you to fluency.
That was also my question, because for most people, creating habits is like, you need to start. But okay, if I'm lying on my couch, I'm like, yeah, I see all of these polyglots, online, but like what will make these people actually do it? Because now, especially in the social media area, it's very hard to finally get up, and because consistency, once you have it, it's great. But how to go to this step, like how to
actually start. One important key here is knowing where you at the beginning, because sometimes that happens a lot. It happens a lot that people start the language, but then they don't even know where they started. So am I making any progress? Well, I don't know. I usually do kind of what I call trackers of improvement. I do it every single time I start learning the language. I take 3% of my of how I'm doing, of my performance, which are pronunciation, improvisation, and fluency. I take these 3%, which are very low at the beginning, obviously, and then with the time, I do it like each month, and I see the actual improvement. So that's what people are actually lacking. Like,
how do you see the improvement? Like, what is the thing that will see? Okay, I see this improvement, that you actually start to make real sentences that people will understand? Or how do you, because at the beginning it's very hard to track it, to finally figure out. I know it from my experience. Now I'm learning Greek, it's ridiculous. I know how to yasas, kalimera, of course, all of that stuff, but then I don't notice the moment when it's actually, I can make up real sentences. How do you
that's
notice that is the point?
Interesting question. Me, for example, I kind of create this addiction to going out of my comfort zone.
Okay.
So that's the first thing. So, for example, pages like Omegle, I don't know if you know Omegle
Yeah.
TV.
Oh, yeah.
I like to go there for the first time and record myself. For example, with Polish 6 months ago, I went there and I was not able to speak just one word, like not even one word or one whole sentence in Polish. It was actually like that. And, I have that video.
Yeah.
So that was my kind of my tracker, at the beginning. Then I like to go every single month. I go there and I see what's the improvement. Obviously, what I said before, the consistency is what's actually going to take you to having these improvements.
Yeah.
So the thing is, I apply something that I do every single day, and then I have these trackers of reality, maybe that, put your feet on the ground, go into Omegle, and they say, whoa.
And the people will roast you.
Yeah, I mean,
you go on Omegle and they're like, what is that?
I know, but that's the thing about going out of the comfort zone. I think one of the most important things that, or skills maybe that I have that, made me a polyglot is the addiction of the feeling of going out of the comfort zone, because I know I'm getting better.
And when you come back to this video all over and over again, you can actually see and make yourself proud.
I can correct myself, and that's the most beautiful thing, when you can correct yourself on knowing, I didn't know this at that time, and now I can create like completely different sentence. So that's very beautiful.
Are you mad or angry at yourself that you made mistakes in the past?
With the language with my math?
With the language. Well, let's say you come back to this video all over and over again, and you see, oh wow, I said
yes.
Yeah, like some
płacze instead of płacę.
Yeah.
For example.
And then you go like to the shop, to Polish shop, and you're like, ja płaczę kartą. And they're like,
I mean, it actually happened before,
Oh.
you know, but that's, you know, when you go out of the comfort zone,
Yeah.
you feel everything harder because you're not, you know, on your couch watching a video, you're actually using it, going out of your comfort zone. So every time you make a mistake, you're going to remember it better. For example, now that I said this example is because I mean, I made it when I came here in September, like 3 months ago, and it is stuck with me because, you know, it hurts me when I do this kind of mistake. So when I go out of the comfort zone and it hurts me, it's going to stay with me embedded in my head. That's why I do it.
And the embarrassment that you have to go through. I mean, I'm not encouraging now anyone because we're showing this bad side of things, but it can actually... I know that I was thinking I wouldn't be giving this example, but I would just start with an example of my grandmother, which is when you said this, like, ja płaczę kartą. It's an amazing thing to just bring up. So my grandma was being brought up during this World War and all of that. And she was trying to escape from German soldiers.
Okay.
And she wanted to buy a cookie. She went to them. She was trying to speak her German. Of course, it wasn't native. She was around 10, maybe 9, 11 years old, something like this.
Okay.
She went up to them and she's saying like something broken German. Ich möchte blah, blah, blah. And then she made this like Polish accent on German. And you know how Polish people were treated during this war times. And they're like, Polnish Matchen. And like she was like, because you know what could happen if they figure it out. And then by this mistake, I think it was like a vocabulary mistake or maybe accent mistake. I don't remember. She wasn't clear enough. Now she's 91 or 92 years old. And she started running her life out of it, you know, running out of the situation. And she remembers this mistake now for the rest of her life. Even now when we're sitting, she keeps repeating this situation. She's like, even if I don't speak fluent German, I remember that I shouldn't be saying this.
Well, that's an incredible example for the people to actually realize. Yeah. Because I know I'm going to make mistakes, but then I'm going to remember them. It's, you know, it's a harder path that everyone wants to take. But it's the kind of the fastest, I will say, because you're all the time making mistakes, and then it hurts. So yeah, that's a perfect example from your grandmother. Probably she will never forget about that.
Yeah. So Lewis, 8 languages. It's wild. Like this guy, you know, guys. Yeah. I came up with this idea. Maybe you can introduce yourself and also like an interesting fact in each of these languages.
Okay.
Are you ready? Are you happy
good enough.
with that?
I'm happy. I'm excited.
Now I'm stressed.
Let's see how I'm gonna do it. Então, acho que ficaria fácil começar com um bocadinho português. Não sei se estás a entender agora ou se calhar não. Vale, vamos a ir con mi idioma materno, que obviamente, aunque no lo sepas, probablemente sea más o menos fácil. Ja, mit dem Deutsch, ich habe keine gute Beziehung, aber ja, das ist mein Deutsch-Niveau. Qu'est-ce qu'on peut dire de cette langue? Peut-être je suis en train d'inventer, peut-être pas, on verra après. Credo che podría ser una de las lenguas, mas no sé. I ja, oczywiście, że po polsku to byłby bardzo łatwiej dla ciebie. Więc no, to jest wszystko.
Wow, ridiculous situation. That's just occurred. Let me just, now I'm trying to test my memory. The first one, 100% Portuguese.
Okay.
Eu amo português.
Se ama português.
Obviamente.
So it was not made up, right? Do you think it was made up or not?
I had some doubts though at the beginning. I'm struggling because eu falo com Brazilian sotaque, now Europeu, because European, ridiculous. No. I was thinking because some words I didn't catch it.
Yeah, I did it on purpose. But yeah, it was Portuguese. So well
okay, great. But Portuguese with some of the words that were actually made up or not?
No.
Or full Portuguese, it's just your European accent that just
everything was Portuguese.
Threw me off.
Yeah, I said some words that you won't get, for example, bocadinho or se calhar.
No, bocadinho, you see, I'm coming with this Brazilian one. No, actually, this one I caught, but like there are some of the words in the middle that I was like...
Se calhar, which means maybe, So
Se calhar.
Se calhar, yeah. So, but that's in Portugal, you know.
Talvez.
Talvez.
Is maybe.
Talvez também. But in this case, I used se calhar because I knew it was going to be harder.
Of course, yeah, okay. Or
Okay.
whatever. I had my doubts that it was a made-up language. Then Spanish, you're not gonna...
Yeah, exactly.
When you go with your up to Barcelona, I know.
Yeah, okay, perfect.
Spanish, then Deutsch.
Deutsch, yeah.
And then Deutsch. Français. I remember now, it was French, 100% it was French.
100% French.
And then you didn't speak Romanian.
I didn't. I didn't.
You knew that this is the only language that is hard to distinguish and you just decided to make it easy for me.
Yeah.
Do you think that I'm this bad?
I don't think. If you want, I can talk Romanian as well.
Let's go.
Yeah? Pot să spun că limba romană e o limbă foarte frumoasă. Bineînțeles, puțin grea, dar pentru mine pot să spun că a fost foarte ușor.
It's ridiculous with Romanian. That's why you should have said that before. Because sometimes I mistake Romanian. Now, it sounded like Italian.
Yeah?
I know Romanian is a different language, but sometimes, because it's a Latin language, Romanian, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. But for example, I use the difficult version because I can say dificil, but I'd say grea, which means also trudne, difficult but I use, the hard version of it.
Well,
so
always making it harder for me.
Yeah.
Then I said French. Did you speak Italian?
They know. Maybe you don't.
I actually forgot. 100% it was Portuguese, Spanish, German. I don't remember if 100% you spoke French because I can sense it from kilometers.
It was after German, French.
So then it was Italian, then it was Polish.
Okay. Last one was Polish, but the previous one was made up.
Can you repeat it?
I have
it
no,
actually
I have
sounded real.
no
Now,
clue.
guys, please, I don't speak Italian that well. I can say davanti a tutti, pizza mi amore.
I have no clue what I said. I know I started with
wow, that was so funny.
Because I knew it was gonna be hard. Because I needed to focus a lot on the accent. But I said like dopo morte fatto, ovviamente che nessun bar.
No, now I can feel it. But like when you say morte, I thought morte is like like death. Morte pato ad apeto.
It is. I don't know. I just
that was good.
And I also put like some Spanish words. So I was like, what am I even saying? But it turned out to be difficult. So that's good. That's good. Oh, so you took 5 from 6 out of 6. So that's good.
I thought it will be easier, but it's good. It's good that I made this.
I didn't even spoke Romanian. So, in some way I was good with you.
Which one of these you think was the easiest for you as for a native speaker?
That's a good question. Maybe I'd say the easiest one is obviously Portuguese. I'd say so because the similarities, like it's crazy. It's like 88% between Spanish and Portuguese.
Even 80? I thought like maybe 70 or 60.
No. It's I even think it's 92, but I'm gonna say 80, 88. In case somebody here knows the answer.
Yeah.
But yeah, nevertheless, I'd say that Romanian was the fastest one. Why? Because when I started Romanian, I had 4 languages before that I've learned on my own. So I had that knowledge of learning a language. Romanian is no way even like similar to Portuguese in terms of it's very difficult for someone who has never learned a language, even if you are Spanish. But I knew a lot of things. I knew, for example, French, Italian, and Portuguese. If you know all 3 and then Spanish, it's going to be super easy. Then pronunciation is very easy. I made a challenge on Instagram that I learned in like 30 days. And then at the end of these 30 days, I had a conversation with a Romanian friend. It was like Romanian, I'd say here, is the language I feel more attached to.
Really? Why? Because could you just tell me a little bit more about your background?
My background, my parents,
where are you from? Where did you grow up?
I grew up all my life in Canary Islands, so almost Africa. There we speak just Spanish, and my parents are both Spanish as well. So I was not that lucky like you, for example.
Yeah.
And I've grew up there all my life until until I was 20 years old. I have never traveled to like on my own learning a language. So yeah, I started learning language when I was like 19, almost 20. So it's not been a lot.
Really? And how old are you now?
Almost 24. Yeah.
Did it take you 4 years to learn all of these 50 languages? Are you crazy?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you got the idea. I'm crazy. That's the thing.
Yeah, that's true. We spoke
So
about
because
it already.
otherwise you can have, consistency, a good method. But if you're not crazy enough to be every day, like, doing and
Discipline,
doing and doing.
not motivation, but discipline.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, people mistake this a lot. Like, yeah, I have motivation, I'm gonna do it, and then when they get to A2 level, it start getting complicated. I'm gonna learn another language because I feel the dopamine of learning new language. That's super cool.
That's sometimes my issue, but I feel touched deeply by what you just said.
Well, I mean,
No, but
that's
I
what I
understand.
tried in the past. Picking something in French in Italian, but I realized it doesn't work like that. If you actually want to get, like, my goal is to be, like, for example, with Polish now, my goal is to almost be Polish. That's like the
That's
thing
a
I
good
dream
goal.
about. Yeah.
But you have to get rid of your Latin happiness if you want to be Polish. You have
yeah.
to be like, czego chcesz?
Czego chcesz?
It's not positive at all.
Well, I mean, I could have the accent of a Polish person, but having the personality of a Spanish. I think that's a good mix.
No, but maybe it's a good thing. Maybe it will help you Polish people, if you're actually watching, be a bit more positive. Though, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but I need to tell you something. From the people that I've run into here, at least in Warsaw, okay, I don't know if it's different in other cities, people are very, happy, or, they are very energetic. That's my experience here. I can tell you 100%.
Interesting.
Not everyone, obviously, but the people that I find, I'm going to a run club, here in Warsaw. Maybe it's because of the environment, but people are very, with me at least, and with everyone, they are always laughing. So I was, it seems like we are in Canary Islands.
Was it? Just the weather. Was it like this at the beginning with Polish people, that they opened so quickly to you? Or maybe they had to get to know you a little bit more? Because that's the issue with Poland. No issue. That's a common thing with Slavic people in general. For example, in Belarus, it takes a bit time. It takes us a bit longer, but still, like, we have to trust the person. And then we're like, we welcome you, my brother.
Yeah.
It takes time.
Well, to be honest, I think because the people that I'm telling you, it's kind of a group. We talked between each other, but I think, like, poquito, like, until now, I have not made this strong relationship with any Polish person yet, so I cannot tell you about that. Nevertheless, I'm getting better in my Polish, so I can communicate better. So that means at the same time that I can create more, like, trustful relationships, maybe. So then I'll be able to tell you. But at the beginning, like, from now, I can tell you they are open in groups or events.
Okay,
I don't know if
because
they are.
the atmosphere requires that.
Yeah. So that's my, like, impression of Polish people.
Okay, now we're doing hot shots. You have to choose one option from the two I'm going to give you. No overthinking, just instinct, this or that. You can give me a short explanation, but
perfect.
Let's see.
Right to the point then. Okay.
Let's see. Visiting one country for a year or 10 countries for 1 month each?
The second one.
So
10 countries.
Visiting 10 countries for
1 month. Why? Because, I mean, it doesn't need to be like one country after the other, or have time between, different trips. Because if I have time, I will take the second one, because I will learn the language and I go 1 month and I will be all day,
in
like,
a month.
tour. Yeah.
You'll learn a language in a month.
No. I will learn the language before.
Yeah.
With myself, with my method, and then I go there and I, materialized all the knowledge that I have, and I will do it there with other 10 languages.
Arriving early to a Spanish event or arriving late to a German meeting?
Late to a German meeting. I will, 100%. I mean, it's gonna get me in trouble, but I'm never in time, because, maybe it's because I like to feel special, or, when you enter with your friends to the event and it's
you, all lights on you.
On my friends as well. But, well, on time, yes, maybe. Early, no way. Yeah.
But you know how German people get frustrated when you're late?
No, because I've never been to Germany. Like, I've never treated with German people, so Maybe I'll discover and I'll learn from the experience.
You've never been to Germany?
I've been once to Berlin, 3 days maybe, but it was not enough. I was
But
with
you
my
speak
family.
German.
Yeah, I speak German.
So
but
you don't have to go to the country to actually speak a language.
no, you don't have to go to the country. It helps a lot to, kind of have a better accent. Yeah, as I told you with the previous question, it's always better to go to the country when you have knowledge. I always say this. When you go to the country, it amplifies your knowledge, and you in the first month you multiply your knowledge by 2. You duplicate. So, for example, when I came to Poland, I was thinking, okay, I need to get the best of the best before going, because I know when I get there in the first month, I will duplicate the level. So imagine talking about in figures, in numbers. If I have like 30% of my Polish, when I get there, it's gonna be 60%. So it's gonna be a lot. But I have like 2. Then it's gonna duplicate to 4. So I have 0. 0 times 2 is 0. So that's not manageable
how it
in my
works
head.
in your head.
Not possible. So yeah, it helps a lot. It won't. It will just amplify your knowledge.
Yeah, great. Let's move to the next one. Having perfect grammar forever, or being able to pronounce every accent perfectly.
No, the second one.
You
I
really?
don't. I don't.
So you're
even
not
want
a
to.
grammar guy.
Not even. Never ever. I always make grammar mistakes in Polish when I talk, because I don't know like the przypadki. I have no clue. Nobody has ever told me anything about stop because you're talking too bad. 100% the second one. I mean, my obsession is with accents.
So get us. Yeah, but that's true. When you have your native language, you also make mistakes. Even this ridiculous simple mistakes. I do it in every single one of my 2 native languages.
100%. But it's a good question, though. I will go 100% with the accent.
Interesting. I'm not going to judge anything, yeah?
Okay.
It's an open space. Big cultural shock or slow cultural adaptation?
Big cultural shock, because I'm going to be able to tell others, and it's going to be a good story.
Just like straight away, everything is thrown on you.
Yeah.
It's better than going to the country, getting to know the culture. You prefer the big shock, even if it's like a ridiculous shock that you will remember for the rest of your life.
100%, because I'm a very storyteller guy.
Yeah.
And obviously, when I go traveling, I love these moments of big cultural shock, because I'm gonna tell my friends, my family. So when I'm having this hard time, the only thing I'm thinking is, wow, I'm gonna tell them. They're gonna be shocked. It's gonna be amazing. So if you go to a trip and everything goes normal, you have no cultural shock, and nothing happens, you're not gonna tell anything. But imagine that somebody, something happens. Yeah. First thing you're gonna do when you come back home is tell them that story.
You changed my mind now. Okay, good. Italian hand gestures or Spanish drama reactions?
Italian hand gestures, 100%.
You don't.
Like,
I
prefer
your
them.
native drama, being like, oh, but he left me.
I'm not that dramatic, so I will go with Italian gestures, 100%.
What if there is like in your face that they do?
I do it when I talk. Like, it's not that I change personality, but I change the way I react. Like, right now I'm talking like this, but if I were to speak Italian,
then you change the whole thing
completely.
But Italian is a special example. I remember when we were in an Italian restaurant with my husband, and we had an Italian, or I think it was like a hot chocolate restaurant, something like this, and the waitress, all over the place, shouting, bada 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 bada. Oh.
I love that.
It changed the whole experience.
I mean, I love that cultural immersion, so I wouldn't complain about that. I'm weird.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Being stuck in an airport with only one language that you don't speak, or speaking 10 languages but losing your luggage. So you're somewhere, you speak 10 languages, but you lost your luggage, all your belongings, of course, in the airport.
Do I gonna keep? No, because I don't want the languages to spawn in my head, because the good thing about learning languages is all the process. All the process and all the progress that you're doing with the time. So I think I'll go with the first option.
Vietnam. You don't speak Vietnamese. You don't understand how to read. Nothing. And you just are lost. You don't know where to go.
Yeah, I will just start creating my I will create on iPhone
Yeah.
note which will be called Vietnam, and I will start with ChatGPT putting all the words that I'm getting there.
And you'll now come back. Yeah, so basically I speak Vietnamese now, so just,
Yeah,
it's chill.
when I went to China, it was the same thing. So yeah, why not with Vietnam?
Xie xie. That's my
Xie xie.
Chinese.
Good accent. Xie
Good, thank you.
Mayo.
Then, being the only foreigner in the room or being in a group of only foreigners.
Wait, it's the same?
But it's just to mix up your mind.
Okay, no. First option, being the only foreigner. Why? Because we go again to the concept of being out of your comfort zone. I've felt like that all my life since I started being obsessed with languages. If you're not that obsessed, maybe I don't recommend you to do this. When it's a big group, but I always feel that I don't belong to that group until I do, because I have improved the language. So, for example, I go to the running club. I can speak Polish with you right now, but I cannot speak if we are like 5 people. So I'm gonna be like the most shy person ever. I'm just gonna shut my mouth for 5 months straight, going every Sunday to the running club. I'm just gonna listen. I'm just gonna I'm gonna be super shy, but I don't care. I don't care what they think. I just care about the fact that I'm getting better and I'm out of my comfort zone. So when I go back home, I'm gonna be better, and that's the thing that counts.
But would you still try speaking with those people if you're in a group? Let's say, would you still try to speak with them a little bit of Polish or a little bit of the new language, or nothing at all?
Yeah, but it's very. Let's put the example of Polish right now, okay? So English, never, because once they know that I can speak very good English, I mean, here in Poland they speak very good English in general, but I will never speak English. I always trying to avoid, because for me it's like porażka, like a failure. So I would just listen, and I will try to take someone from that group to have a conversation. I'm not able to speak in a group right now, because when you're in a conversation,
You have to be like loud. You have to
you
actually
have to be
win
very
this.
fast.
Yeah,
It's a social thing. You have to be the funniest one. You need to shout. Głośno. So I don't like that. Not even in my native language. So I'm not gonna look for that in other languages. I'm just gonna take hey, how is everything going? That in Polish. That's what I like. No conversations.
That was a good, long answer to a hot shot, quick answers,
Yeah, that's true. My bad.
That's it. Let's move to the last 2 of them that we have.
Okay.
It's a short one: living in a huge city or in a quiet village.
Living in a huge city.
I'm same. In a quiet village, I think
I will, turn crazy.
And the last one is living in a culture where people interrupt a lot. You cannot speak. They are interrupting. Try it. Let's try it. I'll just. So basically,
Yeah.
you love it. Yeah.
I think I will hate it. Yeah. 100%.
Or where people are too shy to speak and stay silent. So let's ask me a question.
Hey, how was your day going? But you don't even want to answer the question? Like, it's too easy. No? Yeah,
you see? Okay. Which one would you choose?
I have my answer.
Give me.
I used to work with autistic people, and I'm kind of a child, in terms of I can know how they're feeling, and it's the same with shy people. So I will go with shy people 100%, because people that interrupt you a lot are people that usually, like, I think it's a green flag if you're shy, and it's a red flag if you are always trying to interrupt because you're looking for acceptance or acceptation of the people, and you need to be you need to keep the attention. I don't like that kind of people, and that's the most red flag for me. So if somebody's shy, I can help you. We can get to know each other better,
and then they won't be shy
anymore. Yeah,
that makes sense, because I feel exactly what you said. So when someone interrupts, I had so many friends like that, and you're just speaking, it's ridiculous. Yeah. And then it just feels like they want to be in the center of attention, and the focus is on them. So that's the issue, because then it's not a friendship. It's like you.
Exactly. And they usually have a lot of friends, these people. I don't know why, but they have like a lot of friends, but at the end, it's none of them are very real. Because, if you talk like that, if you have that, let's say, skill, let's say
Yeah.
skill, then you are recognized as a very sociable person. So people want to be with you, but it's not going to be a real relation. That's at least from my point of view. I don't know if you have the same experience, but yeah.
I feel the same, I understand. And coming back to, let's say, our conversation, we finished with questions in terms of the hot shots.
Okay.
It was the longest hot shots in
Ever,
my life.
yeah, 100%, 100%.
But what I'm thinking is, I know some of the Latinos. I've also done some research. And Latinos are one of the most expressive people on earth, or just Spanish-speaking people, Portuguese-speaking people, whenever you go to Brazil, any Spanish-speaking country, they are so expressive. But whenever it comes to speaking a new language or learning it, they are one of the most shy. Why is it so? Do you have the same? Was it the same when you started learning?
I need to think about that, about myself. I can tell you about others.
Of course, yeah.
But about myself, I think I knew it was such a big challenge that I just love challenges. So I just went right with it, and I didn't even think if I was being shy or. So with me, it's a different story. For Latin people, probably the main problem is that Latin people are all over. For example, if I speak Spanish, and I'm going in an Erasmus, which always happens. Trust me, because I have done 5 Erasmus.
Wow.
Spanish people are gonna keep, the relation with Spanish people, because you don't need to go outside. You don't need to go out of your comfort zone, because there is like, I don't know, almost half of a billion people that speak Spanish in the world. You're always gonna find someone, and people are also learning Spanish. That's why it's very difficult for me to learn a language when somebody wants to learn my language, and I'm like, oh. Sometimes I say I'm even like Romanian, so people are not gonna tell me I speak Romanian, because when I say I'm Spanish, they are always like trying to speak Spanish to me, and I want to speak your language, So that's one of the thing. Okay, but answering your question, I think it happens also. It comes from school as well, because when people try to imitate an accent when you are young, they always like kind of laugh, even though you're like trying. Me, for example, I didn't like languages like 10 years ago, so I didn't even try. But I remember never, like I started learning, as I told you, like when I was 19 or 20, so 4 years ago. But I remember people having a good accent in English, for example, or in French class, and they were like hating all the class to them. So I think we are not born shy. We kind of are forced to be shy when learning a language. I don't know.
Why do they judge so much?
I think people judge when they are not able to accomplish that, or maybe they are able to accomplish that, but they are not willing to put the work that it must be put. So when something seems very, not far-fetched, but very far away from getting there, the easiest way is just to, criticize the other.
Of course, yeah. You can learn a good lesson from it, actually, that the only people who will criticize you when you start to learn a new language, because of course you'll make mistakes. It happens to me every single time. I don't even care. I go and just make these mistakes. It's normal. Accent mistakes, pronunciation mistakes, grammar mistakes, any mistake that you name, I've done it. I've been there. But none of my friends who are polyglots, they won't, or even my dad speaks astonishing amount of languages. He never criticized me. He would be happy to correct me, but he won't be like, what is this accent? Just like, you have to stop.
But it makes sense because he has put the work to get there. So he knows how difficult it is to know what you're doing. Yeah, that's a human basic. When you have not done something, it's more difficult to empathize,
Yeah, that's true.
So that's maybe why people that haven't done your thing or what the thing you're doing tend to criticize you more than the people that has already reached the thing you are trying to reach.
Yeah. It also leads me to another question, maybe coming from your experience. Tell me about the moment where you were judged for your accent, let's say, or maybe what you were taking unseriously because of your accent. Anywhere you've been in the world, did you have a situation like that? And how did you explain it to yourself in the head, in your mind, that it's okay. It's not a reason to shut up.
I'd say maybe I have one experience with that kind of accent problem. Obviously, the first experience that I had was with French people. Okay,
Yeah.
that's
Of
because
course,
they
every
are.
single time it's the French.
Yeah, but I mean, maybe it's a cliche, but it's not. I think
Yeah.
because even between them, they criticize a lot. The thing is that I try to explain people that the 24 hours or maybe the 16 hours that I'm awake, I'm always thinking, go out of your comfort zone, have problems, struggle, get better. So every time that somebody criticizes me, I take that and I revert it into motivation and discipline. So
Yeah.
it doesn't hurt me, you know? It's very difficult for people to understand when I try to explain them, but it's just how my mind works. Like I don't take that as a negative thing. I just revert it into what fills me up and, you know, keeps me going. But yeah, if I need to answer your question about this experience, it will be with French people, only French people. Like, you know, I wouldn't even say like criticizing my accent. I think we are in a world right now where people actually understand that you're learning a language because everyone is doing it right now.
Yeah.
So I have never, you know, had somebody mocking at me because my accent is horrible.
Yeah. But there were comments, you said.
Yeah, comments, yes. Like maybe talking the language and, you know, like chico, like in the low voice. People saying how it should be said, yeah. You know, I'm maybe talking to the other person, like saying, like, you know, laughing a bit.
Oh, so for example, let's say you say, ela tem or something, and then ela tem.
Yeah, ela tem. Tak.
Sí.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, it's because I was thinking about putting another example in Portuguese, but it happens a lot.
Now we moved also when we keep going around this circle of discipline, motivation, and everything. And it brings me back to the thing that you said. Once someone told you that you won't be able to learn Polish fluently, and it motivated you even more. Why? How did it work? How did it motivate you? If someone... It's just to give an example to people that... Because so many people are being bullied. They're like, no, you're not going to learn Polish. You're not going to learn Russian. You're not going to learn Hungarian. This language is too hard. You won't be a native ever. And then this motivated you even more. So some people, it could be, okay,
frustrating.
No. So they could hear this voice in their head. So how did you get rid of it? How did it actually motivate you?
I think, as I said before, I always take these negative comments and I turn them into motivation and discipline.
Yeah.
So when somebody tells you something this, you know, hard to hear, you know, some days or maybe weeks to actually realize that I'm able to reverse that comment and accomplishing that thing, giving me motivation to do it, you know, because, well, somebody didn't believe. For me, when somebody doesn't believe in you is when you are trying to accomplish something big.
That's true. It always happens. Yeah. Always.
So that's a good thing. Sometimes, you know, people that are around me, even like my friends, they don't get what I'm doing. Like, what are you doing this? For me, that's a good sign that I'm on the great path. Because, you know, if everybody is cheering from you, is cheering for you, it means that the thing you're trying to accomplish may not be that great thing. So when people are, you know, telling you, I think it's very difficult, I think you're not going to do it, that's actually the dream for me. That's the discipline itself. Really? So if I can try to reverse that into motivation every single day, I'm going to do it. So right now, in this moment of my life that I know already Polish, I'm very happy that that person told me that.
That you're never going to learn.
Because thanks to that, I made a video on Instagram, which was very famous on Spain. Thanks to that, I ran into someone who was Polish and, you know, start thinking, maybe I could start learning Polish. So everything is connected when you take the comments and revert them into positive discipline.
Now we're moving to the opposition. Here you go.
Okay.
In front of you, there is a box. And you have to pick a language at random and then show me and show us, of course, the flag and everything. And these are the languages that you speak. You have to convince me to learn a language that you choose. And my job is to be annoyingly difficult. I will disagree with you, even if I actually speak a language. I'll disagree, and you have to convince me to everything. I'll be.
Okay, I think that's gonna be interesting also for the people watching this. Why should they learn the language? Okay, we're going. So first language. I'm not cheating. So which one is it? Oh,
You have
sorry.
to open.
Oh,
yeah.
okay, so Aggie, I think you should start learning Polish. First of all, have you seen how the economy is growing in Poland? No?
No.
Okay.
Like Polish, they are so backwards, Polish people, that I cannot comprehend it. Now I live in the UK. People, are moving forward. But Polish, they are always backwards. Why would I? What do you mean economy is going forward?
If you start speaking Polish, it's not only Polish, you're going to be able to, start getting to understand Russian, for example, Czech, a bit maybe of Croatian. So, it's a good start. I mean, it's the best start.
Why do I need Croatian, Russian, and Czech?
Russian, because it's one of the most strong...
It's a very hated language nowadays. Why would I learn? Why wouldn't I choose, any other language rather than Russian? There are so many nice languages like German.
Okay,
why would I choose Russian?
Well, also Polish and German has a lot of things in common. So there you have.
Which things?
Which thing? Like which words?
Yeah,
I don't
anything.
Know. Abonnement or...
Abonnement, okay. It's an international world.
It's almost... There are a lot of words, I can tell you. Right now, there's nothing coming to my mind, but I will tell you something. If you learn Polish, you're going to have a lot of possibility of not working just in Poland, in other places, because there are a lot of companies.
Let's be honest, where do they speak Polish?
I mean...
Only in Poland.
Only in Poland, that's true.
So where do I go and I can speak Polish?
But do you like discipline, right? So if you're getting to know Polish, it means that you're very disciplined. So you're not only improving your discipline, you're learning a beautiful language, and you are opening the doors to a new market.
Beautiful. You think it's beautiful.
Yeah, it's hard. So everything that is hard, at the end, it comes to be beautiful.
Point to the last thing you said. Okay, let's move.
Okay,
keep going.
I think that was good for the people that are hesitating whether to learn Polish or not. Next, flag. Let's see. Again, Polish.
Oh, no.
Italian. Oh, okay. Italian. Let's see. Aggie, I think you should learn Italian because it's a very beautiful language.
Yeah, every language is now beautiful.
No, but have you seen how can you even talk Italian without talking with the gestures? That's super beautiful. That's something that no other language has.
So I don't actually have to learn Italian. I can learn just gestures. And I'll be like...
Exactly, but you need to
I don't need to learn Italian.
You need to make the noise, you need to... And that's all related to the culture as well. So when you learn Italian, and people in Italy don't know a lot of English. So I'm telling you, if you actually want to immerse in the cultural gastronomy, for example, it's always better to know Italian.
Where is Italy right now? Why should I learn Italian? Apart from being able to speak Italian in Italy. Same point as we spoke already.
Do you like good weather?
Yeah.
Okay, and do you like beaches and nature and everything?
Yeah, but the fact, you know what I don't like?
Yeah, tell me.
Tsunamis, natural disasters and everything. You know Pompeii?
Yeah, okay.
I won't risk it.
Yeah, that happened probably a century ago, so we are not...
You never know when it's going to explode.
That's true, that's true. I mean, this could even explode right now, this studio, but we never know. So we need to take the chance.
Why would it explode?
Because we are in Poland, I don't know.
And name me any cultural disaster that happened, not cultural, natural disaster that happened in Poland.
In Poland, I'm not Polish, so I'm
not Polish now.
Yeah. I don't know.
No, but in Italian, I don't need to learn Italian. I can, as you said, I can learn sounds and gestures. So I'm going to be like, para.
Okay, well, you can try that. And when you start getting to know people, you'll see that Italian is needed. So if you want, don't start learning Italian. Start learning the gestures, and then you'll fall in love with the language.
Okay, next.
Okay.
I'm not saying you convinced me, but it is something interesting.
Maybe to some of the people,
you will tell. Yeah,
okay.
Because you're not going to convince me to that one.
Wow.
That's the only language that in real life, that I said to myself, I'm never going to learn. Eu entendo português, porque eu preciso
comunicar com
espanhol.
Okay, so why learn Spanish? Well, first of all, it's also a beautiful language. I know all languages are beautiful, but the sound of it doesn't it's not for you beautiful.
It's a bad thing to say to me. I've I've created a whole big video on Instagram when I said I cannot stand while people say Barcelona, Venezuela. I just cannot.
Okay.
No.
Well, good thing because I don't talk like that because I'm from Canary Islands and there we speak like people from Panama maybe or
How present?
myself.
Yeah. How?
Like,
I need to hear it first.
I don't say Barcelona, I say Barcelona.
Can you say one sentence maybe where you use this most disgusting words? Or Barcelona, Venezuela.
Yeah. Sí, por ejemplo, una persona que fuera de Cáceres estaría usando las palabras pues mucho más acentuadas y yo pues en mi cabeza eso no tiene sentido.
Can you say the word palabra again?
Palabra.
You don't say the, you say palabra. Palabra.
Because we don't use V or B. We just use B. It's easier.
No, you didn't convince me anyway. Like,
No,
it sounds disgusting to me. I mean, it's better than.
Okay.
But
would you like to communicate good and actually get to know the people in almost, I mean, at least 500 million of people that speak Spanish actively right now?
I have Portuguese. It's the spicy Spanish Portuguese. Why would I? Spanish is overrated if I have Portuguese. It sounds more juicy, you know. It's better to say saudade instead of.
Yeah, if you like Brazilian Portuguese, that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm talking Brazilian only.
Yeah. But if you actually want to get, I don't know, the cuisine of Argentina, it's not only Spanish, okay? This is not only Spanish, you know, even if it has the flag of Spanish.
It represents the language.
You know, it represents a whole language, a whole community. And in order to, you know, get to know better the community, I don't know, if sports, food, you have all the options in the world. So trust me, even if you don't like the Spanish accent, you have already Portuguese. So if you speak Portuguese, people won't get what you're saying.
Well,
won't.
in Spain.
In Spain.
I learned Portuguese and I actually understand a bit of
But
Spanish.
it doesn't happen the other way around.
Really?
Yeah, it's always the Portuguese people can get the Spanish people, but the Spaniards cannot get the Portuguese. So that's why.
So why would I even learn this language if they want to get?
Well, because you have already the Portuguese, so it will be easier.
Português é suficiente para mim.
É suficiente. Okay, it didn't matter.
Okay, next, last one. Please choose last one because
Okay.
I don't think you convinced me properly.
Okay.
The Polish maybe, but
The boy,
it's
maybe
just an
because of your
interesting
mother tongue.
language.
Okay, I'm gonna take.
No, I would
Okay.
never learn Portuguese.
I will never. Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Would you like to be able to speak with one of the most multicultural communities, which is the Brazilian community?
No.
No, you don't like to speak. Okay.
If it's good, it's fine. But
Okay. Do you like dancing maybe?
oh, dancing, I like. I like dancing.
Okay. So if you go to Brazil, it comes with your passport. Once you know the language, it would also come the dancing. It would also come the good memories. Praia, you know, beach.
Praia,
So
I know.
that's something that maybe you like. Do you like praia?
The thing is, I have Spanish. Why would I learn Portuguese? So many people now speak Spanish. Why would I learn?
Because if you go to if you go to a city where it's not Rio de Janeiro, for example, they won't be able to speak Spanish. Or if they speak a bit of Spanish, they will answer you always in Portuguese. And as I tell you, if you know Spanish but you don't know Portuguese, you won't get what they're saying.
Spanish sounds so nice. When you say it sounds so like expressive. So like, I especially love this sound when you say like Barcelona. It's just.
Yeah, it happens also.
It's
to
like
me.
the nice because it shows
Yeah.
like a bit of a tongue.
I talk
love
like
it.
that, for example. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I will tell you something. I have never met in my life somebody who learned Spanish and then Portuguese and has loved less Portuguese than Spanish. So I think you won't be the exception, Aggie. Okay? So just give it a try and you'll see how much worth was this.
Vamos fingir que eu não escolher português para aprender.
Vamos fingir
Okay.
que esta conversa não. Ok, pronto. Okay.
Never mind, yeah?
How was it? Okay, which was the one that I convinced you the most, honestly?
I think Portuguese because I love this language,
Yeah, I
you know?
mean-
But Spanish, you will never convince me. It's the thing with Spanish.
Yeah, but you know,
I
with
just
the
hate the
Spanish
sound.
accent as well.
It's the accent. It's like this thing. The whole vibe of Spanish doesn't convince me. If I have Portuguese, it's the same one. Everything was true what I said.
But for example, Argentinian
It's
Spanish
better.
is very beautiful. It's almost like Italian because they were like the communities were kind of mixed
Yeah.
a few years ago. So you know, it's Argentinian people talk with this kind of rhythm like Italian or
maybe.
Brazilian, I think you'd love it. Maybe you're focusing just on the
Spanish
Spanish from Spain. I'm from Spain and I don't talk like that, but from the rest of the people.
Well, Canary Islands is different.
I mean, it is. It is. I will tell you. Well, I'm not gonna start talking about Canary Islands, but I'm a big fan of Canary Islands.
When did you realize that languages are the thing that you want to do? Because as you said in the beginning, you hated languages at school. So what changed?
I failed French even like 5 years ago or 6 years ago.
And now look where you are.
Yeah.
Laughing at these French people. But they told you you're never learn it.
Exactly. I think it comes, that's a question that I've not been able to answer yet. Okay. So I'm going to try to give you the best answer in this moment, in this present moment. And I'd say is because, when something is very difficult, it gives me this, motivation to do it. Okay. So I started with French and then I realized that if I speak the local language, I'll be able to get to know more of the people and the relations will be more real. So that's I realized when I was in Belgium, because in Belgium you speak French in Brussels, for example. And there I realized, oh, my French is not that good, but I see how the connection is better when I speak French. And also it's a challenge because I can get better each day and I have this gratification, this satisfaction that gives me getting better each day, Yeah. It's something that because, if you train maybe or you do something, I also train, but...
Yeah, 12 disciplines. I've done some research.
Exactly. But the thing is that with language, you can get better each single day.
That's true.
Imagine getting this satisfaction each single day that you get to live. So that's why I started learning languages. Then when I saw that you can connect more with local people, it was, a game changer. And I said, from now on, let's use English for this podcast, for example. And, for maybe using a language that I don't know or whatever. But from now on, I'm just going to connect real with people and I'm going to get better in this language and I'm going to also receive personal gratification. Yeah. So, it's a win-win.
So you had a situation where someone actually treated you differently because you spoke a language instead of just going straight with English, but taking this time and effort. Exactly how I do it. For example, when I went to Turkey, I learned this merhaba, teşekkürler, just basic things so I don't enter the shop and say hello, but just merhaba and they're like merhaba,
Exactly. That's a different situation. Like, I love that. I love that. And I will always treat people like, entering the shop, saying the word in their native language because they are going to, be aware of that you're making an effort and they're going to appreciate that.
Would you say that Portuguese was a bit easier for you as for a Spanish person than most of these languages? Because you said that Romanian was the closest to your heart.
Yeah.
Or is the closest to your heart. How would you explain? So which one was like what especially? Can you give me like an example? Maybe some words were similar, maybe some sentence structure was similar in Portuguese.
In Portuguese, yeah.
That you just skyrocketed in your language learning.
I think the first shock with Portuguese is realizing that when you talk in the past, you use the simple past form.
Yeah.
So I was always trying to do like yo he ido, but in Portuguese you say like eu fui. Yeah. So it's like that was the first thing that I said, oof, that's very weird because in Italian and in French is the other way around. It's like io sono andato, je suis allé. So it's like two words, two verbs. And in Portuguese was kind of difficult at the beginning because I need to think, okay, only simple verbs. But then I just, maybe the L was the next problem for me, how to pronounce like a good L, since I'm not Slavic, let's say. I don't have this.
Malaco.
Exactly. So I was just pronouncing it as a Spanish person would pronounce fala.
Yeah.
Fala.
Oh, yes, I falo. Eu falo português.
Eu falo português. So that was hard as well. But after I realized that almost all the words are pretty similar, if you learn like the 200 most used words in Portuguese, you're going to be able to talk it with no problem. Probably your accent is not going to be perfect as you can do in Italian in a shorter period of time, but it's going to be very good and you're going to be able to communicate.
How long did it take you to learn all of these languages? Because we mentioned that you started learning when you were not that long ago.
Yeah, 19 probably. So that was 2020.
So
2020.
does it take you like a year, or maybe some different languages are different?
Well, it depends on the language, obviously, but most of all, it depends on the effort that you put, on the work that you put. I started with in 2019, and the language that it took me more to master was French, because it was the first language, and I had no clue how to study a language. So I was just doing the wrong things. Then with the time, I start knowing, oh, this works better. This doesn't work.
Yeah.
And I go faster with this. It's like kind of a shortcut. So I start applying those things. That's why also I create like the method that I used is ICA. It's very fast, because I'd say maybe, well, it depends. But for example, Polish, it will be in less than a year that I will get kind of to a conversational level. So I think give it a year, and you'll see how your life can change in any language. But just don't think about, I want to speak it in a month.
There are some people on the internet who are like, I learned these 50 languages in 1 week.
Yeah, I mean, it's good for marketing, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
But the reality,
let's be realistic.
Yeah, but that's a problem for people who watch those videos and think that's actually possible. For example, talking about my community, sometimes people come in my community thinking that I'm gonna give you the key to learn in 2 weeks.
Yeah,
it doesn't work. It doesn't work like that, So that's hurting also the people. For example, in the fitness community, all of them showing the best body ever, and everyone thinking that's achievable in a short period of time. So yeah, we are living in an era where you should have your feet on the ground.
Okay, that's amazing. We also have a tradition on this podcast. It's strongly inspired by Diary of CEO podcast. I'm not going to lie before you mention everything in the comments. So basically the twist is there is a statement that comes from the previous guest, and it's a method. It's the best language learning method, according to this guest. It's not my opinion. And your task is to basically confront that statement. And the statement from the previous guest was exactly what was said. Fall in love with the language or a person. Oxytocin means bonding hormone. So if you feel emotionally attached, your brain remembers effortlessly. Adrenaline boosts concentration plus memory. Would you agree with that?
I would agree 100%. Yeah. Because, well, she or he, I don't know if is she?
I will tell you later.
Okay. Well, this person talks about adrenaline, which adrenaline is always generate when you are in situations out of your comfort zone. So that's the first thing. And, this person is on point saying that adrenaline leads you also to be more consistent and also more focused. I do agree 100%. After falling in love with the language and with a person, well, it doesn't always have to be this way. I think you need to fall in love with the language.
Yeah.
And maybe with a person that will always help a lot. Yeah. Because you have this accountability of someone. I think it's a whole motivation thing. Like it's on another level. I would love to have that. But, falling in love with the language, I think is more than enough. Yeah, because if you feel attached to something, everything amplifies. So when everything amplifies, you can get to learn faster, retain better. So it's always a win-win, being attached to the language. And if you can also be attached to a person. Okay, it doesn't have to be, your girlfriend or your boyfriend. You can just be attached to a friend, a really good friend. And that's a whole nother level of motivation, I think.
Now it's your turn. What is the method that does more harm than good? And the next guest will answer this question. We'll confront your statement, not answer this question.
Could I say something that I don't agree to see how the other person would react? Like the worst?
Yeah, the worst method.
Okay.
Language learning method possible that does literally more harm than good, and people keep doing it, in your opinion.
I'd say trying to reach perfection in the grammar, thinking that will lead you to fluency.
Could you elaborate?
Yeah, basically, focusing on talking flawless instead of actually talking from the first day, doing mistakes, making mistakes, and then getting better. Just waiting for the moment when you have the perfect grammar to talk. I think that
That's
doesn't
the goal of
yeah.
the podcast. No flawless speaking, only mistakes.
Exactly. Yeah. Like I always say that the enemy of fluency is perfection. And in this case, if you're trying even to reach perfection with the grammar, you are in the wrong path.
Would you like to be on a fake polyglot wall and take a picture with me? Never mind, yeah?
Never mind.
You have no say. Yeah, let's take a picture.
Okay, with pleasure.